For more than a month, Sam Nordquist was trapped. Not chained in a basement, not hidden in the woods, but locked inside a motel room where people walked past every day. What happened next was so disturbing that investigators said it would haunt them forever. This is not a story about a sudden act of violence. This is a story about slow cruelty, about suffering that lasted weeks, about warning signs that were missed, and about a young man whose life ended in one of the most shocking crimes America has seen in recent years. This is the murder of Sam Nordquist. Sam Nordquist was 24 years old. Friends described him as gentle, trusting, and eager to please. He wanted connection, he wanted acceptance, he wanted to feel safe. Sam believed in people, sometimes too much, and that trust would ultimately cost him his life. In late 2024, Sam traveled to upstate New York. He believed he was entering a supportive environment, a place where he could finally belong. Instead, he walked into a nightmare that would last more than a month. The crime took place inside a small motel in Hopewell, New York. On the outside, it looked ordinary. Cars came and went, guests checked in and out, life went on. But inside one room, Sam was being held captive, and no one knew or no one stopped it. According to investigators, Sam was not free to leave. His phone was taken, his movements were controlled, his ability to ask for help was slowly stripped away. What followed was not one violent incident, but weeks of abuse. Authorities later revealed that Sam was subjected to repeated physical assaults. He was beaten, humiliated, degraded. The goal, prosecutors said, was not just to hurt him, but to break him, to take away his dignity, to take away his will. This wasn't rage. This was intentional cruelty. What shocked investigators most was not only the violence, but the duration. This went on day after day, night after night. At any moment, someone could have intervened, but no one did. Experts believe Sam was trapped not just physically, but psychologically. Fear, isolation, and exhaustion were all tools used to keep him silent. And as the days passed, his condition worsened. By February 2025, Sam was extremely weak. The abuse had taken its toll. At some point, his body could no longer endure what was being done to him. Sam Nordquist died inside that motel room. He was 24 years old, but the crime didn't end there. After Sam's death, those responsible allegedly tried to cover it up. His body was moved and left in a remote location, an attempt to erase him. But something went wrong, and the truth began to surface. When police discovered what had happened, they were stunned. Detectives described the case as one of the most disturbing they had ever worked. Evidence revealed the prolonged suffering. And soon, arrests followed. Multiple suspects were taken into custody. They were charged with second-degree murder with depraved indifference to human life, a charge reserved for crimes so reckless and so cruel that they show complete disregard for whether someone lives or dies. Prosecutors made one thing clear: this was not an accident. This was not negligence, this was systematic abuse. This case shocked America because it didn't happen in secret. It happened in a motel, in a town, in plain sight. And yet, no one stepped in. It forces us to ask uncomfortable questions. How does suffering last that long without intervention? How many warning signs were ignored? Neighbors didn't report it, staff didn't stop it. Passers-by didn't know or didn't question. And silence, once again, became an accomplice. Sam Nordquist was more than a headline. He was a son, a friend, a human being who deserved protection. His life mattered, and his death demands remembrance. This case is not just about crime, it's about vulnerability, about trust, and about what happens when cruelty goes unchecked. Because crimes like this don't begin with murder, they begin when suffering is ignored. Sam's story is painful to hear, but forgetting it would be worse. If telling this story prevents even one person from being ignored, then Sam's voice still matters. If you believe victims deserve to be remembered, subscribe to the channel. We tell these stories not for shock, but for truth. Because silence is how crimes like this survive.